and still, it's like I'm the last of the real. It's like I'm the last of the...
Me and Specs will actually listen to your music, right? And I've always said that listen to your latest track, Not Your Love. It gives me like that sense of like nostalgia. Because it reminds me of when I was like, I think 7 years old, when I was like living in Sweden. You know when you switch on your TV and the first channel comes up is like MTV channel, from like the early 2000s.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Right, was that like the inspiration behind it of your music, like early 2000s sort of vibe?
The inspiration for my music has literally derives from the 90s.
Okay.
Like growing up, like
early 90s, so going into 2000s.
Like growing up, I was like really exposed to the 90s by my older sister, and what I love about it is just how real the music sounded. It just sounds like fresh, and you can relate to it because a lot of the artists were storytellers, and that's why I just picked up that genre, like not genre, but that era of music. Like, yeah, that was just my whole aesthetic.
Was it the idea is to bring back the old school hip hop? Was that? Do you think we're going to see more of it in the future?
Definitely. Like for me, I feel like I needed to bring back something that was so. It was such a nice feeling back then, and I feel like music today is kind of like missing that just realness, raw, something raw. And I thought I needed to bring it back, but make it modern. And for me, I just want to have that like just 90s elements throughout my music, literally for life. Like even if it's just the smallest thing, it just has to have something that can make people think that this sounds like something back in the day, but it sounds so new. Yeah. Well,
what made you want to pick up the microphone? What was it that made you go, okay, like this is the vibe that I want?
So I've always like, even like from a little kid, I've just always wanted to do music. But I wanted to be a singer because I didn't know any women that rapped, or I didn't see any girls that rap. And it was when I watched Sister Act 2, that was when I was first introduced to Lauryn Hill.
Right.
And I saw that she sings and she raps. And I was like, what? I think I can do that as well. And so from then, like when I was like 10, all I was doing was writing raps. Like it was literally more storytelling. And from 10 years old basically is when I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. That's
so interesting, because usually someone would say like, oh, like an album inspired me to write or pick up a pen or pick up a pad. But like a film or a musical film has such a big impact on you. So watching this after Sister Act, that's when you thought, okay, like this is it. Like this is when I'm gonna start writing now.
Yeah, literally.
But what about an album that touched you and inspired you? To also write.
I think the album that probably inspired me was TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool.
Okay.
I'm such a TLC fan, that album, from start to finish, is just an album based on like personality, individuality, and also like crazy, sexy, cool. Like, one thing I love about TLC is that even though they were a group, they were all individuals, and you could relate to each one of them for different things. Yeah, definitely TLC.
Any other movies other than Sister Act? What else inspired you?
I don't think I have any other movie. No. Sister Act is literally it's the only movie I can think of that really inspired my musical journey. Yeah, I mean, I was maybe Fighting Temptations. Yeah, I can't think of any other movie. Yeah. Cheetah Girls, I guess. I think maybe I'll like my biggest dream. Actually, maybe I'll say Hairspray as well. My biggest dream is to star in a musical movie. Like, I really want to be in a musical movie.
You know, one of your music videos, Haters, right? So one thing that struck out to me was the opening with the whole like your mama jokes. It's like you don't need objects in the back to actually signify that this is the early like 90s or 2000s, because often we associate like your mama jokes with like in the early days, like in the early 2000s, like when you're in school, or like I don't know, just way back when, right? So I found it quite interesting how you brought that element to it in the beginning to establish that this is the old school vibe.
Yeah.
How comes you decided to go for like that kind of style?
Because with the song Haters,
Mm.
like a part of it at the beginning, I used to like in school, I used to rap with my friends in school.
Mm-mm.
So I wanted to kind of show that element in that song that I was at school rapping with my friends. And it was also a play on Sister Act 2. There was a scene where they were rapping in the playground. And I wanted to really emulate that, but in a London school way.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that was literally the idea for that opening scene in Haters.
I feel like obviously music videos are so important to establish a lot of things as well. So I was just wondering, like, what inspired you? Like, what is because I see that you put a lot of value into music videos as well. So what inspired you to create these sort of artistic style behind these music videos?
So prior to that video, a lot of my music videos start with like an opening acting scene.
Yeah.
And the reason why I did that is because I did performing arts in school. And with music, music is just the music, and you kind of miss out on the acting and the dancing. And that's why I wanted to, even though I'm not doing performing arts anymore in school, because before music I was definitely like sure I was going to go into musical theatre, but it just didn't happen. So I wanted to show that side in my music, which is why I have the acting scenes and stuff. And because a lot of my videos are kind of, a lot of them have been in like a basketball court. And with Not Your Love, which is like one of the first videos, I basically didn't come up with the concept. We gave the song to a director, and director Chris Chucky, he came up with the concept of the basketball game. And it was only later that I realized that a lot of my songs have been in a basketball court.
Yeah.
So
There's always a sense of there's always like a sense of urgency as well. There's always performance going on, and whether like even you got obviously your performance and dancing and singing as well as like in the basketball match. There's always a performance. So you can see a lot of Sister Act 2 and stuff in your music videos. So it's quite interesting. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up mostly in Thamesmead. I lived in Elephant and Castle till I was 6. And then I moved to Thamesmead, and I always claim Thamesmead because that's where I really like basically grew up. Found my friends, went to school. I went to primary school in Thamesmead, but I went to secondary school in Bexley Heath. But like a lot of the people that went to my school lived in Thamesmead, so yeah.
Did they listen to the same kind of music that you did? Were they at the time? Did they have like sort of also the same idea of like what you were trying to go for, or did they think like, okay, this isn't gonna make a comeback in a way?
I think we definitely, like a lot of my friends, like we definitely had the same like music interest. Not, I wouldn't say much of the like artists that I listened to, but like a lot of them listened to people like Lauryn Hill, like Macy Gray, like Faith Evans, stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's say in the future, let's say in about 5-10 years time, who do you want to collaborate with?
Who would I like to collaborate with? I think I would love to collaborate with Little Sims. Like I'm such a big fan of her. There's also an artist called Masterpiece who I really like. He's actually on the wall back there. He's like a rock star. The one in the red. Yeah. He's like a modern rock star, and he's just so cool. Like I love rock. Kind of. But yeah, like do you listen to rock music? No. Basically I don't listen to rock music, but there's like
what kind of rock music though?
Do you remember that song like we all just wanna be big rock stars?
Who's that? Who's that again?
Yeah, songs like that. I love songs like We.
Oh, Nickelback and Queen.
Yeah, Queen.
I thought so when you said rock, what about things like Linkin Park?
I probably know their songs, but I just don't know what like the name of the song. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like I do have like a rock. I don't know, like rock is to me is like a form of expression, and I feel like with music, music in general is a form of expression. Yeah, and I feel like Masterpiece does that really, really well, which is why I want to collab with him. If we're talking around the world, I'd love to collab with TLC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see what the future holds.
Do you think it's difficult to bring genres back? So let's say the early hip hop and like obviously music is changing all the time. So drill right now is becoming so popular, right? It's always moving forward. It's always, you know, it's become so saturated. So especially in the UK, do you think it'll be a lot easier to bring back the old school sort of hip hop? Well, comparing it as well, like to like America, let's say as well. For some weird reason, I feel like it will be a lot easier to bring it back over there than actually in the UK.
I don't think it's hard, because I think the problem is that a lot of artists, they're looking in the wrong places. So like when an artist, for example, says, "Oh, no one's listening to them," like let's say if they're like an R&B artist, they say no one's listening to them, but I think they're focusing on the people that aren't listening to them, and instead of the people that are listening to them. So I feel like it's not that it's hard to bring it back. You just have to find your audience, and then that audience will grow, and then it will become like a army of people that actually listen to that sound. So yeah, for me, like I have like a lot of people that resonate with the 90s that listen to my music, and I'm not like,
yeah, it's quite nostalgic.
like I know, like for me, like the UK aren't really like gonna listen to me like that. That's why like my fans is like my fans are international. But when like the UK catch on, it's because I guess maybe they were just opening their ears. They're opening their ears now to just listen to.
Yeah, I could say your music is a lot more global. I guess
Yeah.
it does reach out to a lot of people, especially people who grew up in the 90s as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you show a drill track right now to, I don't know, let's say someone who's like 56. I don't know, do you think they'll dig it? No.
They'll probably be like, "Oh, like what's this?"
Yeah.
But then if you were to show them my music, they might be like, "Oh, this is something I listened to when I was growing up." Yeah.
Especially in the UK as well, you want to see mixing with other genres as well. Like, I don't know, maybe would you ever consider, let's say, jumping on the drill track? Well, have you tried? Or let me ask you this: did you try any other genre before starting out?
No.
So R&B and the
R&B,
old school sort of vibe was the first step.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
just always been my thing. Even when I didn't know that's what it was. Like even like my rap style when I used to write, it just was literally old school 90s inspired. Yeah, it's just always been like that.
I feel like your music, it does have that sort of element as well, that theatrical element where I feel like you could even perform your songs in a theatre. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do one day, hopefully do a concert, you can do it in like a theatre like performance in a way.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you said as well, there could be interludes. So I don't know. Looking at Beyonce's performance as well. Well, looking at her stage performances, I think they're more of a. Yeah.
That was the big one.
Yeah. You know, someone even tried to ask me the other day if like who's the best performer out there right now.
To be fair, I think Beyonce is probably definitely one of the best. Like since Michael Jackson, I haven't seen anyone that can perform like her. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch the Coachella performance. I was blown away.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, there's no one right now doing what she's doing.
It's true. Yeah, she's literally the definition of what it takes to be an artist. Like she like literally works her butt off to make sure that she's that person that everyone knows. Even newborns know her.
Yeah.
And they just came into the world.
But is that what you're hoping to do? Let's say if you ever threw a performance, is that what you'd hope for? Would it just be just a general stand-up stage, or would you actually make it really theatrical, 90s sort of Hairspray vibe, Sister Act vibe? Backup dancers, singers. Yeah.
Every time I've done a show, I've always made sure that I bring people into my world. So it's like they're in a 90s performance show. And when I do my big show, because I've actually had ideas of that, like I want people to think they're like literally they're at a 90s show. So I don't want people to like sway left and right. I want them to dance like they're actually at a party. And yeah, that's the biggest thing I want to do.
And fashion also play a lot in the role. So what kind of like fashion sense does your music follow? So the vintage style?
My style is very oversized, vintage, modern. Like I like to buy clothes from like literally stores like Primark, like Bershka, just anywhere really, and just make it look like a unique outfit.
Any role models out there, like any artists you look up to where you say, okay, that I want to put that sort of fashion sense and element into my music as well?
TLC
as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, that literally every outfit they had was it was custom made. So it was like catered to them, and they made it work. Like I just love how like they dressed oversized and tomboyish, but they were still like confident in their femininity.
Yeah.
Like they really made it cool to just wear whatever, and you could still be yourself.
I'm actually gonna bring up the TLC outfits, just so I can get like a clear. I've never known someone who loves TLC so much. It's mad. I was like that with rock though. Back in the day, I was obsessed with rock too. TLC group. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, this is like their outfit is like when they wear stuff like in the black and stuff. That was when they did their
is it like,
album like Fan Mail. So that's more like modern-ish. But like their old days, like when they were first starting out, is the more colourful clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bandana, the oversized.
Oh yeah, I spotted one of the bandanas in your music videos. Is that
Yeah.
the detail? Wow. See, everything, every little element in music videos just has a purpose. Anything you put in the back, anything you put in the foreground, midground, any characters you put in there, there's a purpose and an inspiration behind it. That's why I love music videos so much.
I think someone should do that. They should make a show where like people are actually like singing, dancing and rapping and base it in the UK. Because I feel like our biggest movie that we've had that everyone loves is like Kidulthood. Yeah, but we haven't had anything that shows like
Imagine
the
if that was
artistic side of
Imagine if that was a
youth.
musical.
Yeah. Because I feel like they love to show like youth in like the whole like gang light, but there's a lot of us that's or even people that are in that lifestyle. They definitely love something other than that. Like they can rap, they can dance. Like I feel like we need to show more of that. Yeah, put us in more in a positive light.
Why wouldn't you class, like, let's say, Shara's Story as like a musical?
Because he's just he's literally not in the movie. He's the narrator, and he's rapping outside. Yeah, literally, he's rapping outside of what's actually happening, whereas the actual characters are just acting. So, yeah, it's not really a musical. Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna be seeing more of it in the future? Let's say platforms like, let's say, Jerem Daily. Do you think they'll host like musicals?
No, I can't see them.
You can't see that happening.
Somebody has to be the blueprint for them to do their thing. Yeah.
A hood musical.
That's people will watch that. I would want to be in it. Like
I thought there's a whole other than the gang stuff. There's a whole nother audience, and they're just not being catered to.
yeah,
I mean,
Why hasn't that happened yet?
because the thing is like when you do something different,
A lot of people
don't wanna-
Yeah, they get a bit too afraid. They might be
Yeah.
like, do you know what? I don't think people actually dig this.
yeah. But being different shows individuality, and you can be different and be the first person to do it, and then your name is always going to be on. You're the first person to do this, and you're like basically the blueprint. Yeah.
Wow.
what do you think of like R and J? Do you think that's gonna be the new
I don't think R&B is going to be the new R&B.
You think it'll be a thing?
Has that happened?
I feel like there's gonna be a niche. So like, not many people are gonna do it, but they're gonna have their unique audience. Yeah, it's kind of like I feel like it could be bigger than what I see for it anyway. I feel like everything has always got an opportunity to be big, but I see it kind of like if it could have a phase, because it just seems like something that, I don't know. Yeah, because drill's popular. Yeah.
What do you do outside of music?
I mean, there's not much to do in this pandemic. But before, I used to play Sims a lot.
No way.
Yeah, Sims. Yeah, like I even was saying that I feel like I need to uninstall Sims on my laptop because it's slowing it down.
Oh, you got that? You got addicted to it?
I've been playing Sims since I was 10. So like, I'm literally
until
like
now, yeah.
Yeah, but well, on and off, because when they released Sims 4, it wasn't as good as Sims 3.
Yeah.
So it kind of put me off, because it was like, why the hell would you go back to... They basically made Sims 4 a modern version of Sims 2. And it's like, why would you make Sims 3 such an amazing game where you have so much freedom to then make Sims 4 and everything be restricted? So it's kind of like, it's not as fun. Like it will be fun to people that have never played Sims before, but for someone like me who's been playing Sims for years, over a decade, it's like, it's boring.
Touched any other game other than Sims?
Nah, I played Sims on the DS too. I'm just a Sims fanatic. Like, I mean, I like a bit of Tekken. Yeah. I played it a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going with the old school. Wow. Yeah.
As an artist, have you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'm working on new music. I have a collab coming very soon. Yeah, I think it's funny because I'm not signed, but the way I've been moving, it kind of looks like I'm signed.
Yeah.
And with the collab I'm coming with, I think people are going to be really shocked. Like, how the hell is this girl doing this?
Someone we know?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Who you collaborating with?
Someone.
You allowed to reveal?
No. I can reveal, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do it off camera then.
No.
Bro, this happened yesterday as well. Basically, I interviewed the guy who does like the graphics for Daily Duppy.
Okay.
He was on my podcast yesterday.
Okay.
And he was just like, yeah, I did the graphics for somebody else's Daily Duppy that's coming up. And I was like, what is it? And I kept pushing it, and he wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think anyone would guess this, because it's just like...
So this is huge. Like, this is... Everybody should know this person.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It would just be like, what? How the hell did this happen? Yeah.
But why is that such a big thing? So like, what I mean, it's like when someone grows in the industry and they're not even signed to a label. Like, I don't feel like they need to though.
You mean you don't feel like people need to sign to a label?
I don't think so. I feel like you can do things independently. As an artist, if you're already growing naturally and organically, you don't need somebody else to be relied on. Maybe I think having a manager is important, but I don't think you need a label behind you.
I think for artists, because a lot of artists, like, when they don't know how things are, the main objective is to be signed. Like, they just want to be signed, and it's more because of the lifestyle that comes with being signed, like, especially like the perception wise, like the money. But people don't realize that when you sign to like a major label, you're not at the top, you're literally at the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah. Doesn't it all go downhill once you sign that piece of paper?
Yeah, for most people, because they don't realize that they don't realize everything that comes with being signed. And when you're independent, you're not on a timeline. Well, you're not on a fixed timeline. Everything just runs by how you want it to run. And it's all about timing as well. With being signed, sometimes it's immediate gratification, but when you're independent, it's a slow rising. But at the end, it great things happen. You just literally have to be patient. And yeah, that's what I just have to tell myself every single day, is like, don't worry, like, everything is leading to the literally the bigger picture.
Yeah, someone was also telling me how like if you really really don't know what to do and like your music's popping off, then maybe it's best to find a label. But I don't know, usually, yeah, as you said, it's not you're gonna have to start again from the ground up.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, I think the most important thing as an artist is knowing your sound and having an image, because that works. Is if you want to be signed, you might have no image at all, and you might not have a solidified sound, and the label will give you that, and it's not really you, and then you kind of find it hard because the music that you want to make, you can't make it because you didn't go with the actual sound that you thought you had. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think is the problem with labels though? Like at the moment, before it was all about the artist, it was all about the music, but now it's all about the numbers now all speak for itself.
Yeah, they literally want, with labels, they want to sign. Even right now, they even sign songs, like just one song. They want to just sign something that's gonna bring them money and have like the biggest impact. Whereas back in the day, they actually sign the artists and develop the artists and make them into something big. But now they just pick anyone. It's like, yeah, we're going to make money from this person. And once they make that money, they just leave them.
If it was that easy to make an artist so like bigger before, why not just continue doing that? If it's so easy to pick one random person out from, let's say, the industry.
Wait for the check. They'd rather just get the check. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of money to find a ghostwriter, no?
Yeah. Literally, because I think back in the day when labels put money into an artist, they're truly putting it into the artist to develop them. But now it's like they chuck in way more money than they did back in the day, and because they do that, so that they chuck in a lot of money knowing that they're gonna make that back quick. So they're not looking for someone they're gonna develop over time. They just want someone who's gonna make that money for them like that. It's like a fast fashion.
Yeah. Just quickly do and get it out there.
Yeah, literally.
Social media is just so big right now. Like, this is what I mean. I feel like you don't need that label. I mean, like, surely if someone has got maybe a part-time job or like a 9 to 5, you can save up to actually get your music video and promo out there to the point where you can actually get the numbers up yourself.
I think the thing is as well, like, I feel like there's gems out there. Like, for example, there's an artist called Russ. He's independent, and he literally,
is he actually?
Yeah, he's independent.
Yeah,
Independent.
He's actually independent.
Yeah.
I'm hearing his name a lot,
Yeah.
like around me as well.
And he literally gives gems on how to do it, but not like, that's why I say that people that really want it, they don't really want it because they're not. Most people are not going to watch that video and see how he's done it. And it's like, just watching things like that, it will give you a perspective of how to do things the right way. But see, he read his book. See, and there's people that, I mean, yeah, there's like it's like you see like someone become an artist, a star overnight, and it's like, I want that. But it's like that. I mean, that happens once in a. I mean, not once in a blue moon, but it happens. And then what happens to the artist next? It's kind of like, if you focus on like wanting like a million views and all that stuff from early, then you're focusing on the wrong thing, because the real prize is like having a fan base and people that actually listen to your music. That's why for me, I don't really care like I don't get like artists like big verified artists like messaging me like, oh, I love your music and stuff. I don't get that. But that's not the thing that I care about. I care more about like fan to fan, like artist to fan relationship, because literally, because these artists, they're not going to buy tickets to my shows. It's the fans. So like, that's why I know for me, like, I don't get the most views on my videos, but every release I've done, the views grow like rapidly within the first week. Yeah, for me, that's the more important thing.
Rather than yeah. See, I knew like, I'm acting quite surprised because I knew like Russ was a big artist. I have heard his name about before. Actually, Specs was showing me one of his songs yesterday in the car. I was like, who is this? But when he said Russ, I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow, I didn't even know. Like his voice is crazy, is insane. But even with someone like, to give an example, like someone like D Block Europe, they're not signed before. Yeah. So they have someone guiding them in a way on
Yeah.
actually getting themselves bigger. I feel like this is what, instead of maybe getting signed to a label, maybe find someone who actually guides you
Yeah.
to the right direction, right path in order to do it independently.
Yeah, I think that's like I would love to get like in the future like a distribution deal,
Mhm.
because that way I'm still independent, but I just have like distribution, like
Bigger market.
yeah, literally,
Mm-mm-mm.
and yeah, because especially with labels, they take a huge cut out of your money. Like you do all this work to basically give it to a label that's taken a big chunk. It's kind of like, nah, yeah. It's like working for £1 an hour.
I was watching an interview with Chester Bennington. He was also talking about how, he said actually, like he said, it goes to the execs, right, and then it goes to products, and then selling points, and then it goes to your managers, and then people who organize all the concerts, and then you got gaffers, and then you got people, the mic check guy, and then you got and then obviously you have to get back on what you sell, and then it's just like a whole just a crazy bit, like a whole it's a scheme, like it's just a crazy scheme, like just a crazy scheme in a way.
Yeah, it's literally the music business. Like being an artist, the music is probably like 20-30% of it, and 70% is everything else. So like for example, the interviews, like concerts, like there's so much more to being an artist than a lot of people think. It's not just the music, there's a lot more to it.
So when are we going to expect the new track with the big artist?
I don't know, maybe this month, maybe next month.
Oh, it's down to it's down to the artist.
I think it's actually this month. It's down to like, I think it is this month because it makes sense for it to be this month. Yeah.
Are we expecting it on your channel?
Yeah, everything is always on my channel.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a feature.
Yeah.
R.A.E, thank you so much for coming on.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
you speaking with me.
Thank you for having me.
It's all right.